everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an interview with Max from NIMIQ. I've been looking at NIMIQ and I've talked about it. Me and Kits have talked about it on our update show. We've been kind of involved with NIMIQ for a while. They supported both our channels. They've donated ledgers for us, special NIMIQ ledgers for us to give away like a year or so ago. I've always liked NIMIQ, and we've been kind of taking a look at projects that have been around for a decent amount of time, kind of weathered the storm, but are still here and are still have been able to develop and work on the project through the lean time, and have come out the other side. So that's one reason we really wanted to go over NIMIQ and talk about it. Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks for having me.
If you could just give it kind of an overview of what NIMIQ is and what your goals are, basic goals, and then we could talk a bit more about what you're planning on doing in the next year or so.
Oh, definitely. Well, you know, most important, NIMIQ or NIM is digital cash. So we are a payment protocol that we call native to the web. Why that? I'll explain you in a little minute. It's important we run on our very own blockchain. So we are not an ERC20 token, but the team built the whole blockchain from scratch with a vision in mind, because we want to truly live up to the spirit of decentralized technology and enable people to have a barrier-free value exchange all across the world. So like that's a really big goal, and to live up to that and to really deliver technology that is capable of doing that, like it takes some serious amount of work and technological development to do that. This is why we invested so much time in actually developing this. So one important focus is that we want to enable everyone to be part of the blockchain. So one of the most important things is that NIMIQ actually lets you run a node in your browser. So we are not a blockchain browser, so we are not a browser.
I was going to ask that the next question, if you go into that a little bit, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. No, this is a question I get asked a lot. Like there are some browsers over there for the third generation of the internet, but we're not like that. But we enable people to run a node in their browser. So why is that special? Usually, let's take Bitcoin, for example. Bitcoin is a distributed ledger technology. But in order to run a node, so to really become part of the NIMIQ, of the Bitcoin blockchain, you need technical equipment, you need knowledge in order to run a node. So this is not really possible for everyone who wants to participate. So today, if you want to, let's say, send a transaction to the Bitcoin network, there's often or mostly one party in between. And that is sometimes, let's say, a company. So you actually send the transaction to the company, and the company runs a node who is a real part of the Bitcoin network. And we wanted everyone to be a part of the network. This is what we called first-class citizenship. So how do you enable people to be a true part of a distributed network without any technical knowledge about blockchain or like the tech behind it? And that was the vision that we had in mind when building NIMIQ. So to cut a long story short, we took all the technology backend that is necessary in order to sync with the blockchain and know and verify the current state, and put it into a small package that runs in your browser. So when you're opening a NIMIQ wallet, you can actually see, and we'll take a look at that later, you can actually see to how many peers you are connected. So you are running a real node in your browser, and
on the world map.
On the world map.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. It was connecting me. Yeah, I could see the dots connecting. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. So this is very important, that we wanted to create a truly decentralized network where everyone can be part of. And also, like, there are areas and countries in the world where people don't have access to a desktop computer. So this is mobile business. And just to underline the importance of that browser node, we're still running on a proof of work chain that will change soon, but you can still mine NIMIQ until we switch to POS. So we've got people who actually mine with a mobile phone. Like I have reports. I know someone who mined like a NIM per day on his mobile phone. This
Really?
is how accessible it actually is, and you need zero knowledge to be a part of it. That is something that that's one of our big aims. And alongside with that, we're trying to make things, or we're aiming for making things extremely easy. This is also very important. I think I remember hearing you say
That
complication kills adoption, right?
complication kills adoption is what I say. Yeah, I think that's the boat that most smart people miss, and I think that a lot of projects have very smart people, and being involved in the development of Exchangely, it's frustrating. And having worked for, I remember working for Microsoft. I worked for Xbox, and talking to like instructors and other people, they would talk and they would just assume you know something. I remember, the little Microsoft symbol key. They're like, you just hit, the Microsoft key. Everyone knows you do this, and it executes this. And no one said that. I said, no one knows that. He goes, everyone knows that. Everyone knows you hit, Microsoft symbol S, and it brings up the Microsoft Store. I said, no one knows that. I said, people think that's a menu button. Yeah, you hit it and it brings up the menu. They're like, no, you hit this and it executes this program. You hit this and it does. I said, nobody knows that. And I think that's the problem that a lot of project miss. They just assume that
To know
really,
what other
really,
people
that really,
think.
really complicated things are simple because they're very, very simple to them. That's one thing I really liked about all the steps, which you'll show how to set up the wallet, but everything is very accessible and app-like, easy, fun without being goofy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it doesn't seem like it's really, really complicated or work. Which is, I think that's the biggest thing that held people back in the last run, when we had a bunch of people getting interested in coming into the space. It was just too technical for them to stay. But I really did like
I
that aspect of
understand.
it.
Yeah.
I really did like that aspect of it.
We have like different sorts of experts on our team, and like in our team, the guys with the real in-depth technical knowledge are not the ones contributing or building the interfaces. So design is an art. You can design something really nice, so it has a nice look and feel, but design is actually a process. So it involves building something and then testing it with real live users and experiencing, well, the functionality that I envisioned in my head didn't turn out like that, just as you said with the little Windows button. So this is testing, listening to the users, and then adapting these interfaces to make really smooth interaction. So people really use it as it is something that they're really used to, but they're actually not even aware that they're using cutting edge technology.
Yeah, that is the thing people teach it. And they used to say, people need to be able to use the blockchain without knowing they're using a blockchain. But I think that's like the basic step. I think that what you said is a lot more easy. They need to be able to use cutting edge technology and think that they're, playing Candy Crush or a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is something that there's a lot of like Candy Crush-esque stuff in the NIMIQ, especially with the avatars, which I think is cool that you can change the avatars.
Oh,
Um,
I'll tell you. There's a story behind the avatars. That's
mhm.
also like something that gets mentioned a lot. But we'll create an account later so we can have a little chat about that.
You mentioned moving from proof of work to proof of stake. Can you go over how that's working, what it's going to be, and the decision behind it?
Yeah, of course. Like that energy consumption and speed are two very important fundamental aspects when it comes to designing a blockchain technology. And I think the vision to moving to proof of stake was not developed in the last year, but that has been a plan or an idea for a long time. And we now are making this a reality until end of this year. because I think it's just a contemporary good thing to do, because we are moving to a technology that will consume far less energy and will be eco-friendly, and we'll have a truly distributed network that will be capable of more than 1,000 transactions, or 1,000 transactions peak per second, which is required. If you want to build a payment protocol and a payment network, you need speed. And I think as like eco-friendliness and also charity aspects are an important part of our DNA. We're not saying it like that, but we actually reserved 420 million NIM, which is 2% of our total supply. 420 million NIM, put those in a 10-year vesting contract. And so in 10 years, we'll have 420 million NIM to actually that are only dedicated to helping the world, society, and to engage in eco projects. Yeah? So this is really part of our DNA, how we envision NIMIQ to be. And so moving to proof of stake and with a lower energy consumption was just a logical step. But you know, compressing what I said at the beginning, compressing all this blockchain tech from a proof of stake perspective so that it runs in your browser is a completely different topic. Like this is incredibly complicated, so it just takes time. We developed our very own consensus algorithm, proof of stake consensus algorithm, which is called Albatross. You can already see it in action. We have a working, a running demo that like simulates Albatross running on 10 virtual nodes with realistic network delays. You can see it at nimiq.com/albatross and also send a test transaction. It's really fast and it's cool, and we're looking forward to it. And one very important part of staking, of proof of stake, is that it will enable people to stake. So when I'm talking to people who are new to blockchain, they say, okay, mining, like they have an idea what mining is because they heard of it. It entered the mainstream media. But if I'm trying to explain what is staking, I'm going back like, do you remember in the 1990s when we had positive interest rates for your bank account? And they say, oh yeah, I remember, like that was amazing, that's really cool. So this is basically staking, and that is a really, really cool feature because it enables people to lock up their funds and help to secure the network by doing so and earning a reward for it. And this is a real cool mechanism because mining, again, requires at least some technical knowledge. None with NIMIQ if you use the browser miner, but if you like really want to run a backbone node, it requires technical knowledge and energy consumption. So we are consuming energy. With proof of stake, we'll make the entry barrier very, very low. I think it's like 1,000 NIM, which is not a lot. So basically everyone can participate. You lock up your NIM and you receive an interest. We are actually conducting a voting with our entire community at the moment if we should adjust the supply curve for NIMIQ 2.0 proof of stake, how we call it. So the last vote that we will adjust the supply curve is already over. We will, and now the community is able to vote like what the new supply curve is going to be. This vote is still is going to be active on Friday, starting on Friday, and it will be active for 10 days. So everyone who wants to vote is invited to participate. And this will also determine how much % of interest or staking rewards people will get. And we assume this to be around between 6 and 14% at the moment, which makes us quite competitive to other staking coins out there. So low energy consumption, the right thing to do, eco-friendly, and enable everyone to easily stake NIM to support the network and earn interest. That's why we're doing it.
I'm talking about the community. Where would they vote? How does that work? And where can they get involved and be part of the NIM ecosystem?
So we have a forum for NIMIQ, and basically it's all over our social media channels. So whether you will you're on Telegram, Twitter, Facebook, like we announce this very transparently because we really like live up to that decentralized spirit, and community governance is a big step, and we take that very seriously. So it's nothing that's happening behind closed curtains, but we're really transparent and public about it. And we developed our own blockchain-based voting app for it. And so people, as soon as the vote is live, which will be on Friday, people can vote by sending a Luna, which is like the smallest fraction of NIM, to a voting address, which is then the red curve, the blue curve, or the green curve, or none of these curves. And by that, like the blockchain, by the end of the vote, we take a snapshot of the entire blockchain, and then based on the weight of your NIM, of your stack, your vote will be counted into that voting. So just if you are on our channels, social media channels, starting on Friday, you will find the links. We've got lots of articles about it, because we were transparently explaining about all these curves, advantages, disadvantages. You'll find it all on nimiq.com/blog. There are various articles about it.
Okay, and I'll put links to the web browser and all. As
Cool.
far as that, you mentioned your browser based. It's very obvious because there's so much when you go on and you create your account. There's a lot there. There's a lot to do, a lot to access. As far as app development, like you said, a lot of people just have phones. What are you doing when it comes to developing the wallet, the app, and the features that'll be involved with it if you're doing that?
Well, you know, we talked about simplicity and like people who are used and natively using technology. So we thought, if we're browser based, basically our technology and our web wallet runs on every device you can possibly imagine. If it's like a desktop PC, laptop, tablet PC, or a mobile phone. So you don't really need an app, because all you do is you open your browser, access your wallet, and there you go. But we listen to the community, and everybody's using these native apps. And our community was asking for a native app a long time, and we listened to them. And although with our technology it's not necessary, we completely understand and accept that this is a cool thing to have. And so when we announced our strategy for 2020, building a native mobile app that contains all of our functionalities of the NIMIQ ecosystem, that's basically yeah, we wrote that out, and we will have it. We'll build it this year. It's on our roadmap for the last quarter, and so this is on the way. But nobody is limited in using our technology because we don't have an app yet, because it all runs in the browser. It will just make it even more convenient, so people can also use their, like, the little thumb identification thing and face ID,
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, these are native functionalities that people are asking for, and so we are delivering a mobile app soon.
But you have worked on mobile browser friendly stuff already.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
This is very important. Like, everyone, this is barrier free. I think that is a very, very important word in our vision. It should be barrier free and really inclusive, so everyone can take part in it. And so running on a mobile browser is very, very important. And as I said, we have people mining from a mobile browser.
Yeah, that is the fact that they're getting one a day. So that's what's most impressive, because that's, usually, like, you
With a
say,
mobile phone.
You're mining, you get one every 3 months. Something like that is usually kind of what you would think, for because the computing power of a phone is so low.
I still have to say, the guy who told me that, he didn't report it yesterday. That was some time ago. So of course, with more adoption and more people knowing about NIMIQ, the hash rate also, global hash rate goes up. And I think today, it will not be possible to mine a NIM on a mobile phone anymore. But the functionality, the technology behind it is still in place until we move to proof of stake.
On that, what are you doing to, like, when it comes to DeFi?
Well, DeFi it's a big word. It's a very popular, let's say, buzzword that can be used as a buzzword, but if you really take it serious, it's an amazing construct. Yeah, so everybody will be enabled to do banking stuff, let's put it like that, without actually using the traditional financial system. So I told you that we want to make complicated things easy. And one of the biggest hurdles today or to date is the easy buying and selling of crypto. Most important, in a non-custodial way. There are centralized entities where you can like send money to, and then they give you Bitcoin back. But if you take it from the perspective of a truly like decentralized philosophy, at one point this entity ends up with both assets. So you send them the money, so at one point they have your money and they still have the asset. And in like, if you take stuff very seriously, what we do, this is not an ideal state. So if you are familiar with the concept of an atomic swap, so an atomic swap is basically a contract that, or it's an agreement that consists of two contracts. So the important part about it, that the atomic in the swap, is that if we, the two of us, want to exchange a digital asset, this exchange either happened as planned or it doesn't happen at all. So we can make a transaction without actually trusting each other. And this is the beauty of it, because it doesn't involve a centralized entity. So we thought, how could we use this technology of atomic swaps to create a really easy crypto on and off ramp to really enable an easy buying and selling of crypto for people. And that would require that like traditional fiat currency understands blockchain logic, because like, you know, other like stable coins who kind of mimic, not mimic real other digital currencies. But our approach was different. So we thought, what if we made fiat currency act as it was a token on the blockchain, so that you can actually buy crypto with a simple bank transfer? Now it's the cool part. We just finished a demo that showcases how to do that. This is called, the technology behind it, the under the hood technology is called Oasis, which is an open asset swap interaction scheme. Trust me, it's as complicated as it sounds. But sometimes in technology, making things really easy requires a lot of complicated technology to do so. So we went down that road, and if you allow me to share my screen with you, we can actually see how that works. It's important to highlight, to mention that this is, we're testing this in a closed beta at the moment. So this is not the finished product that we're going to roll out, but it is, because we've been talking and announcing Oasis for a long time. This is more like a proof of concept to really show that it actually works. So what we're doing now, I'll just quickly.
Have you showed this anywhere else?
No. Basically, we just made the final tweaks this morning, and you are actually the first person to see it.
Cool, exclusive. All right, that's cool.
So I'm just opening my banking app, because I'll be connecting to a bank account. First, what we do really quick to show that we are not faking anything here, we're creating a NIMIQ account. So you go to nimiq.com, and in the top right corner, you see over here, you see my screen, right?
Yep, I got it.
Perfect. You see the create account button. You were mentioning the NIMIQ identicons a few minutes ago, the avatars. So yes, these are avatars, and some people say, all right, come on, like this looks childish, basically. They don't get the idea, or it's important to highlight the idea behind these identicons. It's not that this is just a little image that you can choose what you want to be, like if you want to be that person or that, but this is actually a visual representation of the address we will be creating. So it's like a beautifully looking QR code. You know how complicated blockchain addresses are. Like it's a long series of number 31XDMY, like uppercase, lowercase letters, and all that. It's very hard for people. If you make a typo, your money is gone. And this is on the road to making things really easy. We wanted to have like a security barrier that allows people to verify that the address that they're sending to is actually correct. So behind these little pictures, these are a visual representation of the address we're creating. Okay, so I'll just choose one. Type in an 8-character password and repeat it. Here's no download required, no personal information, no email, no nothing. All right, creating your account. Welcome to the NIMIQ blockchain. That's it. So it's connecting, loading the transactions and connecting to the blockchain. We see over here consensus established and the peers that we are connected to. Blockchain height, global hash rate. So we are running a node in our browser and are now really connected, a real part of the NIMIQ blockchain.
And you have a faucet where you can get a NIM.
Oh yeah, sure. Wait, we can do that. So you can get a free NIM. Yeah, it asks me if I'm human after all. I think that's okay. Okay, I have to get all the crossings. Oh, did I miss one? It's not even a German word that it's asking me for.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
Okay, one NIM is on the way. So currently, the NIMIQ blockchain has a block time of around 1 minute. So in about 1 minute, this NIM should arrive in our wallet over here. We see the transaction is pending already. And remember, with proof of stake, we will have like confirmations in under a second. So this will be lightning fast, NIMIQ Albatross. But over here, it takes a minute. If you want to create an account, make sure that you download your login file. We can do that so people can actually see what it looks like. It's like a little, oh, wait, I missed something. It's like a little file with a QR code that easily lets you access your account. All right, so we download that real quick. Okay, and then it also asks you to create a backup. So you write down your security words. We're not doing that right now because it's not necessary. Wait a second. Oh, okay, we'll do that later. So we've downloaded the login file. Transaction is still pending, but it'll be there in just a second. So now we said, imagine, so you're new to blockchain technology. Takes 45 seconds, you've just seen it, to create your first account. So by the end of the year, we want to, or we will have a functionality integrated that will let you buy your crypto, first crypto, with a non-custodial fiat-to-crypto atomic swap, without a custodial intermediary that, as I just said, holds both of your assets at the same time. So how will that work? Let's open another tab. This is the demo I'm looking for. Yeah, so over here, this is what we're just testing. Oasis, the technology, is under the hood. So FastSpot is actually a market making entity behind it, because we still need someone who, like a person that wants to have the fiat and gives me crypto for it. It's an open technology, so we are in the first place now looking for decentralized exchanges who want to use Oasis to provide technology for these swaps. So let's buy some NIM. And in the process, I'll explain you a bit more. What are we going to do? We want, let's say, 10,000 NIM. Now we enter our address. I'll just click copy paste. Enter the address over here. Accept the terms of use and service, and we start the swap. Now what is happening, as an atomic swap consists of two so-called hash time lock contracts. Yeah? So that means our 10,000 NIM are now locked away. So the person who is giving me these 10,000 NIM, or the entity, which is FastSpot, and the market maker over here, once these are locked, as it's happening right now, the other person can't access them anymore. So it's in the basket and they can't take it away. So if I now don't send the money to complete the atomic swap, these 10K NIM go back to FastSpot and nothing will happen, because either it happens as planned or it doesn't happen at all. So here comes the really cool part. So now the atomic swap that we have here requires me to send €9.86 to 1031 Bank, which is our partner. Yeah, we are part of the 1031 family. 1031 is a fully regulated German bank who provides the escrow for this fiat money I'm sending, and will then, it's like the 1031 Bank has the fiat hash time lock contract, which is part of the atomic swap. So the bank provides the platform to make the swap, but the bank doesn't own my fiat money. That's very important. And this is the point that other services can't do. And this is what we solved. So quickly, let's go back. Sorry, that was wrong. Let's go back to Postbank, which is my bank. So I'm using the account of Overnice, who is our design team. These are the guys who have been working with NIMIQ since day one, actually. These are the guys, the design guys, who actually really develop all of our interfaces.
How are you getting around the KYC of working with the bank?
Basically, so what you're seeing here is a demo. Yeah, it's very important that this is like our proof of concept that what we developed actually works. And there will be a KYC for from a certain threshold on, but these thresholds have not yet been determined. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But this is, as you saw, didn't require any login nor private information or anything. Yeah, or like me holding my like a mugshot, holding paper into the camera and stuff. All right.
Okay.
So now we'll wait. I'll move that over here. So now we'll send money. I'll just copy paste. So over here, as I said, the 10,000 NIM are locked in a hash time lock contract, one part of the atomic swap, and now I need to send the money. Over here is the bank account. So the beneficiary is 1031 Bank. What you need in order to do it, let me just quickly check if that's correct. 917. We just rolled it out, so yeah, that's perfect. And we need to send 986. And now we have to copy the reference number, which is extremely important. Oh, sorry. And it's important that you have this as a real-time transaction. At this very moment, this technology is only usable for the SEPA network, which is the European banking network, and they have a technology called SEPA Instant or SCT Instant, which supports real-time transactions. So now we're good to go.
Okay, now 2 questions. One, you touched on there, which I was going to ask you. This is set up and you're using an IBAN, international bank account number.
Yes.
Do you have plans, or are you working with the ACH or the automated clearinghouse for this to work for the US?
Oh, of course. Basically, 1031 is our partner bank over here in Europe. We are looking for a US bank. So for Europe, it's important to have access to the SEPA network. But for the US, you need the SWIFT network, if I'm informed correctly. Yeah. So we are looking for another partner in the US and also in South America to support this technology. It's important. We sent the money, you saw. Okay. Now we're going back to the demo. Oh my, it was so quick, actually. We didn't even see it yet. So the 10,000 NIM have been sent to my wallet. I go to the wallet, transaction is pending. So we just send money straight from my German bank account into my NIMIQ wallet.
And how are you going to work around chargebacks from the bank, or is that a possibility?
The bank can't. It's not. It's the atomic swap. So the bank only provides the platform for this atomic swap, but it
Mhm.
doesn't hold it. It's not a custodial intermediary, such as, like, there are some platforms who offer you to make swaps and offer an escrow. But the bank is not owning your funds at
Oh yeah,
any
well,
time.
I noticed you're not doing a debit card thing, so that's why I thought maybe that would be it. So okay.
No. So if I'm not providing the money, if I'm not sending the money, the 10K NIM will go back to the liquidity provider. The bank is not holding my money at any time. This is the beauty of the technology, that it's just the technological platform to conduct this atomic swap between fiat and crypto.
It is really cool how you're treating, because that's the argument that I use with people all the time that aren't, like my friends that just, I'm not in this digital fake money. Well, a friend of mine's like, I get paid in cash. I'm like, really? Is this 1920? At the end of the week, do you go to the cashier and they behind some bars and they give you a bunch of cash? It's like, no, man, I have direct deposit. So you get a bunch of digital numbers, just go into your account and show up. It's like you're already using digital money, dude. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So people, yeah, it really, you're kind of using that, to your advantage, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and over here, like the little text over here also sends it. Like, for the first time ever, you can buy crypto without trusting a third party. Like, this is as trustless as it gets. Of course, if it would be amazing if I just had cash in my hand and I do abracadabra, it's gone and it appears in my wallet. Like, that would be the ultimate ideal way of a crypto on ramp. But, like, to be perfectly realistic, it's simply not possible to do it. So who do you trust with your money? And this is very important. Like, there are other marketplaces where you can do a swap with an escrow, but this might be some, like, a centralized company in some country that tells you, don't worry, like, we're the escrow of your money, and you're sending, let's say, $10,000 to the guys. And who do you trust? It's all a matter of trust.
Yeah.
And over here, together with 1031, the platform is supported by a fully regulated German bank. So these are not just guys who can say, haha, I'll take the money and run away. From a technology perspective, it's not possible, and they're fully regulated. So we can't get around. If you want to exchange fiat money for crypto, you have to do something with the fiat. It's just, as I said, like, abracadabra is not possible yet. So we consider this, or we're pretty sure that we invented the safest and most decentralized crypto on-ramp to date with this technology. And for both NIM and Bitcoin, this will be available as a native function in the next generation of our wallet, which will also launch pretty soon. Like, this has been around for quite a while now, and we're working on the NIMIQ wallet 2.0, which will be released in a couple of weeks, not even months. And the functionality of the crypto to fiat and fiat to crypto atomic swap will not be integrated yet, but we're working on this to have it ready by the end of the year. That's the plan.
So yeah, I had some more questions on that. I read that you're going to integrate Bitcoin into the system. What exactly are you going to do there? And
I'll just quickly stop the screen sharing. So yes,
okay, and
integrating Bitcoin.
integrating Bitcoin, and I think one of the biggest, in which we talked about this before, one of the biggest hurdles, or the most important thing in crypto, I think, is adoption. What are you guys using to push adoption? Besides, this is a big deal. That's a very big deal. Is the on ramp, making it easy, which is one of the biggest barriers for people to get in, because everybody's like, hey, I kind of want to dip my toe in, and when you're like, hey, you got to do all this work just to get in a little, that's a big barrier. People are like, no, maybe when I'm ready and I'll do more research, and it gets put off. But something where someone could jump in, with $100, $50, and it's not.
Yeah, start right away.
Yeah, they don't have to have the mug shot. They don't have to go through all the hoops. That's a big deal. But what else are doing to push adoption and usage?
Well, integrating Bitcoin was one major decision and is only one part of our adoption plan, because like it would be not realistic to say, oh my God, like we know that there are other coins and other really cool ecosystems, and we believe in a diverse future for crypto. And I think, or we think, it's perfectly okay that there are several coins in ecosystems around, and so especially when it comes to Bitcoin, the grandfather. This is like the currency that and the technology that started everything, and we want to embrace Bitcoin, and we're really happy that it's around, and it has as a store of value. It's really important for the crypto community, and it would be not the right thing to neglect it and say like, oh, okay, yeah, Bitcoin is cool, but like we are the only coin left on the planet. So we decided, no, we like Bitcoin is a good store of value, but as a payment protocol or a payment coin, it's not fast enough. Like we've seen all the second layer technologies that came up trying to make Bitcoin faster, but we see that NIM and Bitcoin don't compete, but they complete each other. So we accept that people love Bitcoin as a store of value, but on the other hand, we are building a very fast and secure decentralized payment network with NIM. And to enable people to use like both both best sides of this technology, we decided to integrate Bitcoin in all future NIMIQ products. That means in our wallet 2.0, also hopefully by the end of the year, or maybe a bit earlier even, you will not only be able to hold NIM, but also Bitcoin, and natively transact your Bitcoin from the NIMIQ wallet. But we're not a second layer to Bitcoin. So if you're sending Bitcoin, you will still be using using the Bitcoin blockchain. But as you just saw, our crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto on-off ramp will also include Bitcoin. So people will not only be able to buy NIM with it, but also Bitcoin. And we think that this is a cool and valuable contribution, and to honor the importance and the role of Bitcoin. And of course, to reach out to the Bitcoin community and say, hey, cool, like we're fans of Bitcoin. We love Bitcoin. That's why we started the whole thing. It just needed some improvements, and this is what we wanted to do with NIMIQ.
That is cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
We're running low on time, but I wanted to ask you about the charity aspect of it, and specifically what exactly you're doing in Venezuela. That's something I had read on. I thought was kind of interesting.
Oh, it's in Venezuela, or do you mean Costa Rica? This is where like the idea. This is where part of our team is. Like Venezuela, that's a whole different story. We're getting involved with some people over there, and I have to say I'm not fully familiar with the entire story of Venezuela and crypto. But these people that we were talking to, trying to reach out to them and say, hey, look, we have an alternative here. It mostly like these people didn't get back to us. Let's put it like that. But we're also, everyone who sees a use in NIMIQ is always invited to reach out to us. The team's constantly there, 24 hours. But
Yeah,
we don't have a special involvement in Venezuela.
Project Nimizuela.
Nimizuela.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. It's okay.
Oh, that's one of our apps, right? I'm sorry, yeah. Like I'm not. We have a diverse ecosystem of community apps from community developers, but I have to say that I'm not familiar with all of them. But nimiq.com/apps, I think this is also where you find where you found Nimizuela.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
so everyone is invited to take a look. And we appreciate every new supporter and person who's interested, and we're always listening to ideas and initiatives that come from our community, whatever it might be.
Yeah, I was looking at all the apps, not the official app, so that it was okay. And you can pay for stuff in the Nimac shop with NIM.
Oh yeah, like if you want to, that's like the whole other angle. Like having a fast payment network is one thing, but people need to be able to buy something with it. This is also another important part of adoption. If you just it's not a speculating object, but as a payment network and a payment coin, we actually want NIM to be used with payments. So that is the other angle. It's not only for people who are developing blockchain technology and apps, or people who use it and spend it, but also we are developing a whole like payment platform of different applications for merchants, individual business owners, rental businesses, freelancers, artists, whatever. We have certain apps, one like web-based, like our service cryptopayment.link, where you can send digital invoices and pay them with crypto. We have a NIMIQ checkout, which is available as a WooCommerce and a WordPress plugin at this moment. And we also have an API. So if you're around in a shop and you see when you're checking out, do you want to pay with PayPal, credit card, you see NIMIQ checkout, click on NIMIQ checkout and really pay from your browser with NIM. This is a very important angle that we are, on one hand, we are building really easy, simple and easy to integrate tools for merchants. And of course, you need to educate people that crypto is just another currency like other currencies too. And there's nothing illegal behind it. You're not engaging in any illegal activities when you accept crypto. This is something that we discovered. People are incredibly interested in using crypto, but they're scared. Like when I changed, I was in the special events and marketing industry for 15 years. When I changed to the blockchain space to support NIMIQ, people were asking me, you work in the darknet now? And I thought, no, holy crap, definitely not. But like we have an image problem here. And this is for merchants, this is really, yeah, important for them to be educated.
Well, I think that's
So
a concerted effort by the legacy system, because that's like the last that really can't argue with technical usage or anything, fees, cost, transparency. There's nothing you can argue with except push that narrative, because that's like the last ditch effort. That's all they got.
definitely, and so we have a specialized law firm over here in Germany who are doing consultations for legal and tax related reasons. And so what we did is we had an interview with them to really dig down to the bottom of the legal complexity of crypto. And what we discovered is, at least in Germany, there is no legal complexity. Yeah, it's completely okay and legal to accept crypto as long as you document it correctly and you pay your taxes. So we created an info paper for merchants. Germany will be the first country to roll it out, because we always need these specialized tax-related legal information for every country. What's valid in Germany might not be valid in the US. So we're trying that. This is an educational effort, an info paper that explains to merchants what is crypto and why is it cool for me as a shop owner. What is the legal situation for it? And it is completely legal, at least in Germany. And what are the easy possibilities to get you started? And this is, of course, when NIMIQ and our easy payment solutions come into play. So it's like a whole bundle of useful informations that will hopefully push merchant adoption.
It does seem that Germany's really moving to be a lot more crypto friendly in the past year, I'd say. I've done a lot of stories on my news channel about it. They seem to be really moving towards being crypto friendly, which is cool. Where are you at in Germany? Where are y'all based?
I'm Stuttgart, in the south.
Stuttgart. That's by Kornwestheim, Ludwigsburg.
Wow. Okay. You know Kornwestheim in Ludwigsburg?
It's where I grew up, man. Actually.
No, really, that's really fun. Okay, cool. So you could be my neighbor if you wouldn't be in the US right now.
Yeah.
No, but
yeah.
this is, yeah, I discovered that I was actually really excited myself, because when we had that interview, I was expecting, okay, like you can accept it, but there are like some things, some important things that you have to remember and keep in mind. No, just document it correctly, and you're good to go. And now we're testing it in the German market, to onboard merchants, educating them about accepting crypto, why it is cool and stuff. And if it works, and if we receive positive feedback, I think we will roll it out step by step into other countries. And of course, it's always nice, like if it happens to be that someone in your audience has a crypto law firm in another country, they're always invited to get in touch. It doesn't hurt if we roll it out to other countries
It seems like
than later.
legislators and regulators they were very scared just because they didn't understand it. But I think a lot of that fear is subsiding, and they're more just tell us about it, and like you said, pay your taxes, document it. It seems to be getting a little bit easier, because to be honest, I think a lot of other countries were waiting for more like the U.S., Germany, France to do something, and nobody was. So a lot of smaller countries started like, okay, we're gonna, South Korea and other ones, they started to move in that direction. And then I think other countries are like, well, we're getting left behind. We're going to have to move forward on this. So I think the approach has softened a lot. Well, that's about all I had. Do you have anything else you wanted to go over or talk about?
I could go on for hours, but I think we provided a lot of information for people who are interested to catch up with. Saying that, NIMIQ is present on every social media channel inside and outside the crypto world. So whether it's our Vivid Telegram community, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, just search for NIMIQ and you'll find us. We're really happy and embracing every new supporter and follower who would like to learn more. We have a great global community. We have channels in over 10 different languages, and people are always happy to support and answer questions. Like I'm thrilled about the positive spirit in our community. And of course, we have a nimiq.com/white paper with all the information about NIMIQ. If you want to learn more about our proof of stake consensus algorithm, nimiq.com/albatross, and of course nimiq.com/oasis, which is our open asset swap interaction scheme that I had the pleasure of showing you today. So there's plenty of information.
That was really cool. Do you have more of a time frame on Oasis for like a rollout?
A public release is planned for some point in Q3. But we will start like it's different stages, and as we are developing on the on the forefront of technology, without trying to sound silly, but there is stuff that we can't foresee. But it's pretty sure, like Oasis, the technology will pretty soon be rolled out in Q3, and there are other services like the actual exchange for fiat and crypto. This happens time by time, but end of the year is our timeline, or is our goal to have everything implemented.
That sounds
but it's technology,
pretty
you never know what happens. But we've got a pretty extensive track record of stuff that we did. nimiq.com/roadmap might be another important point. So until now, we delivered everything that we promised, and sometimes things are a bit easier, sometimes things are a bit harder. You never know what happens with technology, but we will make it happen. This is our dream, our goal, and that's what we're here for.
Awesome. Well, I took a second look at NIMIQ. I think you guys should too. Like I said, they've been around for a while and have been working, which a lot of projects have done through the winter, through the hard time. They've really been buckling down and getting things done, as we found out. I'll put links to everything. It was good hanging out and talking with you. It was good hanging out with
really
y'all.
Appreciate it, Sean.
You guys take care. I'll see y'all in the next video.
All right. Cool. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.